Going on, everybody? Welcome back to a Thursday night football video. We're on an insane 10-1 run with the picks in the video, so stay tuned to hear all we have in this one. And we post a ton more picks in the Dynamo private Discord, me plus a bunch of other cappers we have in here. You can see the huge hits from the cappers in here that you get access to just in the last 7 days. Some massive NFL ones, including 19-7 on NFL Sunday. We've been killing the single game slates as well. Monday Night Football, we had a 14-1 day last week where I went 6-0 with my plays in here. Some more big hits, 20 to win 141, 5-1 with my last Thursday Night Football plays. Another big hit, 10 to win 70 on a single game slate. And then we went 11-3 just a few days ago on Monday Night Football. Combined with our picks, we've absolutely been crushing it. And here you can see a look inside one of our cappers channels, just posting his 3 favorite picks for Sunday, hit all 3. Then the very next day for Monday Night Football, just again his 3 favorite picks and hit again. For me in here, posting 3 early look plays on Monday Night Football, all 3 hit. And then posted 3 later plays, including a demon, and we hit 6-0 on this day. Monday night, same thing, 3 early plays, 3 later look plays, and we banged a big one. Click the top link to get in. It's the best time right now because we got NFL 3 days a week, 2 other days a week. We got college football and still WNBA and MLB going right now, with the NBA on the horizon in the next couple of weeks. So join up in the monthly or the weekly. Click the join button. Type in that promo code you saw on the screen. You guys are going to get in here. Lock in. You guys saw the crazy streaks we've been going on. Tons of hits in here in just the last week. We've absolutely been on fire, especially with these single game slates. 10-1 in the video, so let's keep it going for this one. For the first play, I'm going to go to Tory Horton. I'm going to take kind of a weird one here on his targets. Target plays have been good for us, and I think Horton definitely, with his big play ability, is going to command more targets in this offense moving forward. We saw him last week make some big plays, including a return touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns on the day. He's seen 4 targets in each of his last 2 games. I think we could see an increase in the snap share, and also I think we're going to see a close game in this one, which is important for the passing game for Seattle, because they've had some games here where they haven't had to pass a ton because the games haven't been that close. But this one, I think it's going to be close between 2 division rivals. Should be a good game. I believe both teams are 2-1, so definitely a big game within the NFC West. Looking at Tory Horton over on Outlier, you can see, first off, receiving targets allowed. The Arizona allows 44 targets per game, which is the most in the NFL. They rank 32nd. So a team that has been getting passed on a ton so far this year, which is definitely a good start for this one. And you can see last 2 games, 4 and 4 targets, not a single target in week 1. So definitely building up more in the offense. And it was great to see 4 targets in that last game against New Orleans, when they only ran 21 passing plays in that game, because you could see the score 44-13, and the Saints had like 3 or 6 points for the majority of this game. So it was a massive blowout, and still on 21 of the passing plays, 4 of those targets went to Horton, which is a pretty good target share. And then the second game, they ran 35 passing plays. He got 4 targets. First game, still they only ran 24 passing plays. So I think we're going to see an increase in the passing plays, pass attempts from Sam Darnold and Seattle, which is just going to help Horton out. And since he's been making these big plays, I think they're going to want him in there, and they're going to be targeting him. He's one of their best deep play threats besides Jackson Smith and Jigba. The other receiver they have is Cooper Kupp, who at this point is not really that much of a deep threat, more of a possession type of guy. So I think they're going to have Horton out there a lot. And they see his most snaps he's seen as well as a pro. And if we look at Seattle's snap count this year, Horton saw 54% of snaps in the first game, then just 40 in week 2, and back up to 49 in week 3. So seeing between 40 and 54%, I think he's going to see about half, maybe even more percent of the snaps this week, just because he had such a breakout game in week 3. I think they want him out there more because they like that big playability in a close game. So I think we're going to see an increase in the snap counts for Horton, and probably less for Bobo and Derek Young, who really were only out there because this week 3 game was a blowout, and that's why we saw a lower snap count for Kupp and Smith and Jigba. And for the second one, we're going to Emari Demercado. We're going to take him over on his rush yards at 13.5. Demercado has been the forgotten running back in Arizona for the first 3 weeks. Last year, him and Benson basically were splitting the backup role. Then it was all Benson for the first 3 weeks. And now Benson is thrust in as the starter here, obviously, with James Conner being done for the year, it looks like. I think they're definitely going to get Demercado more involved. It's him and Bam Knight, Zonovan Knight, who's a guy that I kind of remember him on the Jets a little bit, but basically has been bounced around and barely making teams so far in his career. So I don't think he's a real threat to get carries, but I think Demercado could see a healthy amount of carries in this game, especially if Benson is not performing, which he hasn't honestly been great as a runner so far this year. So let's look at this one for Demercado. First off, let's just look at the snap count for Arizona so far this year. We've seen basically all Conner and Benson. Week 2 was more of a 50-50 split, and then obviously with Conner getting hurt, most of it went to Benson. And then we saw Demercado get 11%, which is decent to see because he saw 0 in week 1 and 1 snap in week 2. So he got up to 7 in week 3, but they project that Demercado is going to be the third down back out there. As we can see with this article, it says Demercado will see more third down work as a pass catching back. He doesn't have any receiving lines up, which I would be interested to see, but he also has been proven that he can be an effective rusher as well. So last year, we did see him get a lot more percentage of the snaps. We saw him basically get more than Benson, honestly. He saw 164 snaps compared to just 137 for Benson, and it looks like they played the same amount of games. We can also see for Demercado over on Outlier that this line is 14.5 most places. We're getting it at 13.5. So looking at last season, he hit this 5 of 13 games, just 38%. But James Conner played every single game last year and was the bell cow. But we can look at this alternate line we're getting at 13.5. So even last year, splitting the backup work with Benson, he hit this over half of the games that he played in. And now being the full-time backup, essentially, I think he should go back to at least this, if not more. And he was doing it with very limited carries. The most carries he ever saw in a game was 4, but he, as a big play guy, saw a massive rush per attempt, over 10 yards rushing per attempt last year. So he just needs to break off 1. I think he's going to see more than 4 carries in this one because Benson actually hasn't been that good. Coming up against Seattle, who's a pretty tough run defense, I think they may want to try out Demercado a little bit running the ball as well, because you look at Benson, he had one good game. He had 69 yards in that first one, and that was on 8 attempts, but he had a 52-yard run in this game. So if you take out that one, he really had 7 attempts for like 15 yards, and then game 2 was not good. He only got 3 carries for 14 yards, and then he saw 10 carries last week, only managed 42 yards, and actually had a 20-something yard run in this game. So if you take that one out, again, he was averaging under 3 yards per carry on those besides the big one. So if he's just going out there getting 1-2 yard carries over and over, I think they may want to switch in Demercado here. And I could see him getting 6 to 9 carries for Demercado. So I am liking going to that one. I think he's going to be more in the mix than people think, especially if Benson is struggling a little bit, and then even on third downs, you could get him out there. Those third and long, those draws. That's really how Demercado was able to hit the big ones last year, and I think he's going to be in line for at least a few of those. So I like that line. Getting a bit of a savings here is 14.5 most other places. But if you guys are just playing on Prizepicks, you have to check out ePick. When you use the link down below and the code Dynamo, you get a $50 bonus after you deposit. So definitely check them out. But I play over there even more because the payouts are just higher. We have 3 picks over here locked into ePick that are the same over on Prizepicks, but we're winning $139 on our 20. For most same game parlays on Prizepicks, you'd win just $120 with the same slip or even less. So definitely worth it for the higher payouts playing the same exact stuff. It's absolutely a no-brainer. And when you use the link down below and the code, you get $50 for free to try them out. But you're just going to win more for playing the same stuff. So definitely worth it. Try them out with the link down below. Now let's get into the next one. We're going back to Seattle. I'm going to Sam Darnold. I'm taking him over on his pass yards at 221.5. And again, you can see same game parlay, we're actually winning less than 120 over here. So it is a massive difference on pick, which would win 139 with these same exact lines. But let's get into this pick for Sam Darnold, 221.5. I've been loving Darnold's overs this year passing. And we already saw in this video when we were looking at Tory Horton that Seattle just hasn't been passing a lot, and Darnold has still been smashing this one. So we saw week 1, only 150 yards against San Francisco. I think still a good pass defense over there. Maybe not as much anymore because Bosa is out. But we come down and we look, only 24 passing plays in that game. Again, 35 in week 2, and he had a massive one with 295. And then we were on him for this game, but his line was at like 205 or something, and he ended up hitting it at 218, but only passed 21 times because they were up so big. In a game that's expected to be closer, again, Arizona 30th in the NFL in passing yards per game, 264.3 they give up per game. I think Darnold could absolutely smash this, and I think he's going to throw around 30 times, if not more, which we haven't really seen except for that one game where he had 295 yards. If we look at his pass attempt lines, it's right at 29.5. So they expect him to throw a lot more than he has been, and I think he can just absolutely smash this line. And we've been crushing the NFL as well as all sports. We post daily in here, more picks from me, plus a bunch of other cappers. You can see just in the last week, these massive wins we've had from cappers that post these picks directly in here. We went 19-7 on NFL Sunday, and then a 14-1 crazy Monday Night Football day between the cappers where I went 6-0. You can see some more big wins. A 5-1 day with my Thursday Night Football plays, another big NFL hit, and then 11-3 this past Monday on Monday Night Football between the cappers. So we've absolutely been crushing it. Get in here. It's a great time because NFL 3 days a week, college football 2 other days. Still got WNBA, MLB, and NBA coming up. Look inside my channel. I just post 3 early look plays here. All 3 hit. Then later on in the day, posted 3 more, and we hit again. Went 6-0 that day with the NFL. For Monday night, I posted 3 early look plays and then 3 later in the day, and we hit a big one. We got a bunch of other cappers over here doing the same thing. You see posting his 3 favorite. Hit them on Sunday, and then on Monday, posted his 3 favorite plays again and hit back-to-back days, these 3 pick slips. Click that top link. That's the kind of stuff we've been posting in here. We've been hitting these massive slips and crazy streaks in the NFL. We've been crushing. So get in on the monthly or the weekly. Click join. Type in that promo code that was up on the screen. You guys can get in here, lock in to crush the NFL with us. We got daily picks, a bunch of cappers in here posting and hitting. We've been absolutely on fire this season. So I know a bunch of you guys watch the video are in there. If you're not, great time right now because that promo code's still live. Also, make sure to check out ePick because you just win more for playing the same stuff you're already playing on Prizepicks. Plus, when you sign up with the link down below and the code DYNAMO, after you deposit, you get $50 for free. But the reason that I'm playing there more is because of these higher payouts. So we have these 3 picks, the same exact lines you're going to find over on Prizepicks. We're just winning more. We're winning 139 versus just 120 or less for the same game parlays over on Prizepicks. So a no-brainer to check out ePick. Again, the link down below, and we'll see you guys over in the Discord.